Hi, fantasy fiction fans, and welcome to Myth and Magic, a fantasy writer's kit bag. I'm fantasy writer Neil Mack, the author of Moondog and the Reed Leopard, and I want to share my love of folklore, local history and nature mythology with writers and creatives like you on my regular podcasts. It's designed with fellow indie publishers and writers in mind, but all fans of fantasy fiction are very welcome to join in. In my fantasy writer's kit bag, writers, artists and creatives will find lots of ideas and discussion about things such as potions, dark arts, fabulous creatures, folktale studies, nature lore, and the interesting history behind the myth and magic that underpins our understanding of the fictional universe. Hello, fantasy fiction fans. Just one topic this week because I'm having a very busy week. And the one topic this week is the material you need to know about angels. So what are angels? Well, they're supernatural beings that have been around in various guises in all religions and all mythologies across the world since the dawn of man. Usually angels are seen as intermediaries. In other words, they act as honest brokers between the gods, or God, and man, or humankind. Angelus literally means messenger, and although it sounds like a Latin word, it's probably an Oriental loan word that once meant mounted courier. In fact, it meant mounted courier of Persia. Important angels, such as the archangel Michael, are said to be like God, though not God. So they're extremely powerful individuals, even though they are not omnipotent. If you want to find out more about omnipotency, listen to my episode on what is a deity. Now, although angels appear in art with bird wings that we're all familiar with and halos around their heads, often surrounded by divine light, don't let that fool you, because Persian religion and Persian tradition held it that the universe was a battleground between the forces of good and the forces of evil. In other words, a battle between light and darkness. And the angel is something that has been conceived by God as an instrument in this conflict. And we know that God does not do things by direct contact with humans or even direct contact with the universe, but he has things done for him, which they called tasks. He has his tasks done for him by his instruments and through his army of light, his army of angels. Only two angels are mentioned by name in the Old Testament of the Hebrew Bible that we use every day. The archangel Michael and the archangel Gabriel. Now, many of you, me included, once thought that an archangel meant sort of like the top tier of angels, but I'm going to go through the hierarchy of angels in a moment. And you might be surprised to know that an archangel is actually a mid to lowing rank. It's not some kind of chief angel, as many assume. And by the way, a handy way to know whether or not you're encountering an angel in literature is to take note of the end letters of the name. If the name ends in AL, A-E-L, or E-L, I-E-L, you're probably looking at an angel. And if you are going to name your own angel in your own fantasy fiction, remember that you should name it with A-I-E-L or A-E-L at the end. But in addition to Michael and Gabriel, there's also other angels which are known by name and are mentioned in other texts, even though they're not mentioned in the standard version of the Hebrew Bible. For example, there's Jophiel, and he has an epithet, by the way, and your angel should have an epithet. The epithet of Jophiel is beauty of God, and it was him, Jophiel, who, legend has it, expelled Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And then there's Raphael, which is one of my favourite ones. Archangel Raphael is God's healing force. That's his epithet. There's Archangel Uriel, who leads us to destiny. Angel Samael, who is the venom of God, and who is the famous angel of death, actually. So if you see a tattoo with the angel of death, the dark angel with dark wings, or if you see an angel crouched over a cemetery slab, it's most often going to be Archangel Samael. And then there's Sandalphon, whose name doesn't fit that I-E-L bit. But Sandalphon is the brother of Metatron, who is the protector of mankind. He's a bit like a guardian angel, which I'm going to turn to in a moment, but he's a guardian angel for everybody. So that's why he's often known as, Sandalphon is often known as the Godfather angel. Now, according to St. Augustine, angel is the name of their office and not their nature. And I quite like this, and I think St. Augustine is a very sensible person for saying it. Don't expect angels to be angelic. In other words, don't expect them to be lovable and adorable. It's just what they are. That's the creature they are. But they're not necessarily angelic in the way we think. In fact, they can be rather unpleasant at times. Don't forget they're battle angels. These are designed for conflict and for combat. By the late 4th century, the Church Fathers agreed that there were different categories of angels, and each with their appropriate missions and activities. And so the early Church Fathers assigned them with various different activities and gave them a hierarchy. Now, I have to tell you that this hierarchy is seen from a human perspective. It may not be like this, and why should it be? But it's a way for the early Church Fathers to understand the different levels of angelic behaviour. And the hierarchy goes something like this. At the topmost level of all angels is the seraphim. It's a word you may have heard of before. It's often mentioned in prayers and in cantations and in hymns. But the seraphim, which are a whole load of angels, are kind of God's personal bodyguard. And by the way, you don't need to say seraphims. Seraphim is the plural. In fact, an individual seraphim is a seraph. Slightly lower than the seraphim on the hierarchy is the cherubim. Now, you would have thought these little fat baby angels would have been quite low down, but no, they're very high up. And they're not all little fat babies either. These are the ones which are given a protection role in God's heaven. So, for example, they protect the entrance to the Garden of Eden, and they protect the Ark of the Covenant. So if you did steal the Ark of the Covenant and you tore it open and you were a bunch of Nazis and you got suddenly destroyed by a horrible dark force which comes out of the box, that was most probably a cherubim, or a cherub, which is the individual word. Underneath cherubim, and still in the topmost level, are the thrones. These are also known as the ophanim, O-P-H-A-N-I-M. These are God's tag-along ensemble. They're a bit like a VIP's entourage. This is God's personal secretaries, his personal assistants, his glittering dignitaries, his publicity officers, all the people who wouldn't be in the personal bodyguard, who aren't actually protectors, but they are the tag-along ensemble, the thrones. And under the thrones is the top of the middle order of angels, and it's the dominions. Dominions of angels are divinely beautiful, with the feathered wings, and they're almost never seen or witnessed by humans. Their job really is to run the middle ranking structure. So these are in management positions, the management of the angel orders. I suppose middle manager. Underneath the dominions are the virtues. These are the angels through which signs and miracles are made to the human world. So probably the members of this rank made up the choir of angels that was seen over the stable in Bethlehem on the Nativity of Jesus. If ever you're going to see a choir of angels, it will be made of this lot, the virtues. And under the virtues are the powers. These are usually warrior angels, and these are the ones which cast out evil spirits from the universe, and they have a wider defence capabilities. So remember I said that the seraphims at the very top are the personal bodyguard of God. They don't leave heaven, they stick up there looking after his personal close protection. But the powers down below, on the lower level of the middle order, they're the ones which go out into the universe to fight evil. Now, I always imagine these angels to be like the outer ring of defence. They're a bit like the line of guards that you might have on the outside walls of the White House or on the outside walls of Buckingham Palace. They're there to defend the outer wall of the universe. Underneath the powers are the principalities. And this is the topmost of the lowest order of angels. These are also known as prince angels. Prince angels guide and protect nations, and they guide and protect groups of people and institutions such as the church. They are seen as educators and guardians of the earthly realm, and they closely resemble or even correspond with, in fact they could be the same thing, the muses, which I've discussed in a previous show. The muses are the creatures which tap into humans and provide them with the notions about art and science. But the principalities, these prince angels, they are there to guide and protect big groups of people, nations and institutions. Underneath the principalities, like I said, quite low down, are the archangels. This is the middle rank of the lowest class. And they're also known as the voice of God. So archangels do the annunciations, proclamations, and they bring announcements to the people. It's no surprise that we think that they are very high up the ranking. It's no surprise that we think that they're very, very, very powerful. It's because these are the ones which are most often seen. In actual fact, they are quite lowly down. Some believe that there are only 4 archangels, but Raphael, in a Holy Bible book, the Book of Tobit, he states that he is one of 7. And from various verses in the apocryphal books of the Holy Bible, it can be seen that we can add to the 4 that we know, which I've discussed earlier, the following: Jeremiel, Reguel, Saraquiel, and Remiel. And these are all from the Book of Enoch. Then there's Isaidikiel, Hanael, and Kepharael. These are from other sources, plus Sealtiel, which means intercessor of God, Jegudiel, which means glorifier of God, Barachiel, which means blessed by God, and Jeramiel, which means God's exaltation. But in addition to that, other churches have added some more archangels to the list. For example, the Coptic Orthodox Church has added Suriel, the Prince of God, Zedekiel, the Grace of God, Sarathiel, we don't know the epithet for that one, and Ananiel, the Reign of God. And the Ethiopian Church additionally has added Phanuel, Phanuel, the Face of God, Reguel, the Friend of God, and Remiel, Thunder of God. You'll be interested to know that Lucifer, also known as the Dawnbringer, is also an angel of the order of archangels. Now, if you had to describe an archangel, you probably can't do better than this. Are you ready? His body was like topaz, his face like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze, and his voice like the sound of a multitude. This description of an archangel comes from the book of Daniel in the Holy Bible, Daniel 10. The lowest and the most recognised form of angel, the one which, if you are going to see an angel, this is the one you're most likely to see, is the guardian angel. These are the ones that will be sent to you by the rest of the angels to help out on a personal level. And you can expect the guardian angel to arrive not looking like the archangel that I mentioned above, with body of topaz and eyes like flaming torches. The guardian angel is most likely to appear just as you'd expect a wonderful or outstanding human being to appear. I have spoken to people who say that they have met their guardian angel. Their guardian angel normally comes from nowhere and disappears into nothingness, but helps them at a crucial time in their life. And if you want to find out more about angels and think about this kind of guardian angel, there's lots and lots of literature to help you. Now, it's said that your departed soul is met by your guardian angel once you're ready to leave this dimension. But even whilst you're in this dimension, the guardian angel can help you. If you picture the famous kind of cartoon symbolism of having an angel on your shoulder talking to you, and possibly on the other side a demon on your shoulder talking to you, when the angel is giving you good advice on your shoulder, that's your guardian angel. Clarence was the guardian angel in the 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life, and he earned his wings. And he told his human that if you ever hear a bell ring, it's because an angel is earning his wings. Another famous thing is that if you find or encounter suddenly and unexpectedly a feather, especially a white feather, it's probably that your guardian angel is trying to communicate with you. And teen angel is French's guardian angel in the 1978 film Grease. And teen angel, if you remember from the musical, advises her to return to high school in the song Beauty School Dropout. So that's everything you need to know about angels. They're not necessarily angelic in as much as they're not necessarily cuddly and good and adorable. They are like God, though not God. They don't necessarily come with bird wings and halos and divine light, and they are part of God's instrument. And if you believe in many gods, you can say the gods' instruments. They cut across all religions. And if you're going to include an angel in your own fantasy fiction, try to make sure that it has an IEL ending or an AEL ending, and also try to think about what level you'd stick your angel in. I would suggest put him in the seraphim level, the very topmost level, because these are the personal bodyguard of God. If you're going to use an angel in your fantasy fiction, an angel who's going to discuss and interact with humans, he should probably be either an archangel or the lowest form, the guardian angel. Good luck with your fantasy fiction. There's only going to be one topic this week, and that is it. And I'm looking forward to hearing how you're getting on with your various different projects. Let me know at Neilmach, all one word, Neilmach, and see you soon.